Good morning everyone and welcome back to another episode of Vlogmas. Today I am going to be taking you through a get ready with me for my work Christmas breakfast, but there is a lot to achieve and not much time, so I'm going to jump in the shower and wash my hair and then I will be back very soon. So step one is obviously done, but I did want to come and show you what products I use in my hair. I use the Genesis range from Kerastars. So we have the shampoo and the conditioner, and now I will come through and use the heat protectant as well from the same range. But I also like to pop on the volume foam from 11. This one not only gives me some volume at the roots, but I also find that it helps it dry a bit better. So we'll pop some of this one on now. You just want to take a couple of pumps and then apply that through the roots or anywhere that you want some volume within the hair. Then I also take the spray. Make sure that's dispersed in the hair using a wide tooth comb. And then I will use my Dyson to dry my hair off. I do like to be fairly thorough with my blow dry, so I often will section it off. If I don't have that much time or it's just for the everyday week, I don't always do this step, but because I am going to an event today, I just want to make sure it's completely dry and it's sitting nice and it looks good for the event. This is the brush that comes with the Dyson to do this job with, but just make sure you choose your brush wisely if you are going to use a brush while blow drying your hair. That's the hair dried. I find that it takes so much longer to dry my hair at the moment between the rain, the humidity, it just seems to hold that moisture. So I am glad that job is done, but it is very hot this morning. So I'm gonna go quickly change into something cool and then we'll be back to finish doing my hair. Okay, quick change, and I did actually do my skincare while I was off camera. I have sectioned off the first part of my hair. I am going to use my new Cloud9 straightener to decide yet, but I think I'm going to put a very light curl in the ends. I say that now, but the whole thing could end up curled. That's very on brand, but I do think the dress requires a really simple hair look. So while I'm getting ready, I did want to run through a bit of a get to know me. As you all know by now, my name is Gabby. I live in Brisbane, Australia, and I've lived here for most of my life. I'm an only child and we have 2 cats and a dog. The cats are 14 and Malia is 4. Malia is a Border Collie Cross Kelpie, so a very energetic breed, and she's a very excitable dog. I love indoor plants, but I have a very limited collection due to having cats. I love weight training in the gym, but I've also done a bit of running this year. I am not very good at running in terms of speed, but I did actually run a half marathon in July of this year, so that was a really awesome thing to tick off the bucket list. I can't say that I was particularly sporty growing up, but I did do a lot of things within the creative industries, mainly dance and music, which is funny because as an adult I feel like I've stepped away from those things and am now more interested in trying new sports, finding new hobbies. I did a bit of golf last year. I'd love to take up tennis over this summer, so it's good to branch out and try new things. And I would say most of my spare time these days is either spent with my family or friends, whether that's a cozy girls night in or a trip to the markets, just some light casual fun really. I also really like cooking. I would say baking would have to be my favorite, but I'm no stranger to a savory meal as well. So that is the hair done. I will finish that one off with my Kerastars elixir, which I also like to use to help brush out my curls, and it just helps them sit better. And then the last step is to just section off the front face framing pieces so I can secure them away before I start my makeup. I'm due to go to the hairdressers next week and it is definitely time for me to go, so I'm very excited for that. In the meantime, we'll go into my makeup. I graduated university really young. I did a degree in communications, majoring in the entertainment space. And the whole point of doing this degree was to go and work at Disney when I graduated. So secured the dream job, moved to Disney, and that was the year that COVID hit. So as you can imagine, that experience didn't last very long. When I moved back from the States, the job market in Australia had really crashed. And so I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do and decided to go back and study a double diploma in beauty therapy and screen and media. And then I worked in that industry for a while. And in that education space, who knows what the future might hold. There's so much innovation going on every day and so many more things to learn. So I don't think that's the end of my tertiary education journey. I wanted to start a YouTube channel mainly as a bit of fun, but also being in that creative space my whole life, I felt like I didn't really have an outlet that I was committed to anymore. And I also do a lot of branding and social media activations at work, so I didn't want to just be doing that for work. And I wanted that creative liability to try new things, and I feel like you only get that when you're doing things for yourself. I was very lucky to do a substantial amount of travel before COVID started. My next big trip though is to Japan. I will be going to Japan next year. I've been to the US, the UK, a few parts of Europe, and New Zealand as well. So I'm excited to start ticking Asia off my list. I think in my lifetime I'd like to go and see all the continents of the world, but we will see if we are able to achieve that. I don't think I have a favourite country that I've been to. I really enjoyed my time in the States, and I have a lot of really good friends there. When I was traveling through Europe, I was doing it as part of a group experience. I went to so many interesting places as part of the trip, so it's hard to pinpoint which one was my favourite. And I just find traveling so much fun. I've almost done every state in Australia. It's actually not that easy to travel around Australia just because of the size of it. And the last place on my list is to go across to the other side of the country to Perth, and that is like a 6-hour flight. I've actually been waiting to do that when I turn 25 because it's so much easier to hire a car once you are 25 years old. Spotify Wrapped has just dropped as well. Once again, Lana Del Rey did come back as my top artist. I'm so sad that she hasn't brought her tour to Australia. I was honestly considering going to Coachella last year just to see her, but I didn't. I was financially responsible. My top songs of the year were my favourite songs to listen to while training for the half marathon. So Speed Drive from the Barbie movie by Charlie XCX came in at number 1. I really do try and listen to podcasts as well. I really like them, but I don't like listening to them when I'm driving and I need directions because I don't like when it pauses, and I can find it a bit distracting at work. So there's not always a great place for me to listen to them. I really prefer to listen to them when I'm doing a long run. I find that it just takes my mind off what I'm doing. By the time the 40-minute podcast is over, I'm already well deep into the run, and then I swap over to some music to push through to the end. My top podcast for 2024, number 1 was Transform by the creators of Form, the fitness app. Number 2 was For the Girls by Becca Moore, comedic genius. Number 3 was Morning Ray by Alana Blumberg. That was my all-time favourite to listen to while running. Number 4 was Not Your Typical by Caitlin Nolan. Caitlin Nolan is the one YouTuber that I come back and watch repeatedly. I love her content. I find it very relaxing and aesthetic and also relatable. And I love that she has a podcast as well, so I can tune into there when I can't actually watch the screen. I think the only reason she's number 4 is that she puts out very targeted content on her podcast, so there's not as many episodes for me to listen to. And the last one on my list is Working Hard, Hardly Working by Grace Beverley. I've only just discovered this one recently, but it really ties into all the things that I've studied about branding and marketing, so I find her podcast really enjoyable to listen to as well. And that really brings us to a wrap on my Getting to Know Me episode. I am just going to put the final touches on my makeup and then show you guys what my outfit looks like, and then we'll head off to the Christmas party. And here is the final look at my outfit. Alright, off I go. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please comment, like, subscribe, and I'd love to hear a fun fact about you in the comments. I will see you guys in the next one.